welcome to the new episode of On Location. I'm your host, Rob Lobb, and unfortunately, our co host, Melody, couldn't join us this time. But we hope to have her back in the near future, so stay tuned. Today, we're diving into the new market landscape in the United States post NAR settlement. That's the National Association of Realtors, and you may have heard about this in the news. So what exactly is the NAR settlement? Well, it's an agreement that aims to enhance the transparency and consumer choice in real estate transactions. It allows us to move forward with a clear path, mitigating risks associated with previous commission structures. The settlement removes compensation offers from the multiple listing service, the MLS, and that means that the compensation arrangements for buyer brokers are no longer displayed in the MLS listings. Instead, negotiations occur directly between the buyers and their agents. This puts the buyer broker compensation discussion ahead of showing properties, separates it from the individual property, and then makes it so the buyer knows what they're paying for their representation in advance. All in all, more transparent and a good thing. So from the seller side, sellers listen up. While this landscape is evolving, keep in mind that your agent will help you navigate these changes, ensuring that you're fully compliant and understanding every step of the way. The goal here in this podcast and what we do with our clients is to demystify these adjustments and empower the seller to make informed decisions about the commission structures, and reminding everyone that, of course, these commissions are negotiable, but now there's the additional negotiation from the buyer side. So sellers have more flexibility in discussing these commissions with their agents. And at the end of the day, it's all about personalized service and ensuring that the seller gets the best deal. Again, from the seller's agent's perspective. Now, we represent a lot of sellers. We also represent a lot of buyers. So, buyers, let's talk about you. These changes are designed to clarify and safeguard your interests. Now, a buyer's agent must have a representation agreement signed before showing you a home. You can still go see properties through open houses and not have to have a buyer representation agreement with an agent in place. The one thing I will say, though, is that does limit you in that the agent hosting the open house, remember, they work for the seller. And while they may be able to work with you, they have a fiduciary duty to the seller first and foremost until they have an agreement with you. In that case, it becomes a dual agency, and now they have a fiduciary duty to both parties. So you may find agents are unable to give you certain answers, certain questions, without that agreement in place. So that would be the argument as to why you should have an agreement. Of course, to have an agreement is, well, why do you need an agent? Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, having a professional buyer side can make all the difference. Sometimes this has to do with purchasing out of the area, having a representative on the ground. But honestly, even me as a seasoned real estate agent, when I do real estate transactions for myself, I hire an agent in that local market, and they're very helpful. And these are some of the reasons why. Market expertise. So, On Location, the real estate podcast that's about location. Today, we're talking in general, talking about the big settlement here in the United States. In the future, we'll dive into some commission structures and such in some other countries as a comparison, if you will. But today we're focusing on the US. However, you still have market expertise in a very local way. And so when I do stuff, typically I'm here in San Francisco. However, I have properties in New York, buying, selling, renting, and I use local agents there. They breed the market just like I do here, and they know the neighborhood, the values, the trends, and they have insights that'll help me make an informed decision even again as a professional. So they will help anyone else. And we talked about the MLS today. A lot of the MLS, the multiple listing service, a lot of those listings go out to other websites and people can search them online. Anybody can. But agents typically have access to other listings that are not listed there. So that can be a great way to get into a property that might not be publicly known about.
Yes!
Once you find that property, you got to start negotiating. And a lot of this new commission structure is about negotiating. So is negotiating the deal with the buyer and seller. And as the buyer, you want someone in your corner that can help you navigate that negotiation so you're not paying too much and you're getting a good deal. Of course, there's paperwork and legalities that come into it as well. There's a lot of paperwork, and the agents can help handle those contracts and disclosures. And this is something that does change location to location. In some cases, lawyers are involved in more of this than other places. But generally, and this is something that I've found helpful myself, is the guidance and support. Now, you would think, well, you go through this, you deal with it all the time, and you're familiar with a transaction. It can be a bit of a roller coaster, but it's fine. Well, I tell you, having another person there is really helpful. The agent can provide guidance, answer the questions, and support you along the way of this roller coaster journey, because buying a property is emotional. Even if it's a business type property where you're looking like these numbers make sense, these numbers don't, it can still get emotional. We've seen properties for sale where they get hung up on a $500 light fixture when it's $1 million property. So sometimes having a third party in there can be super helpful. So now that you've got your agent picked out, or maybe you don't, but go interview, go meet some agents, go to open houses and talk to the agents there. See if you want to work with them. Ask your friends. It's very much about relationships. These changes encourage a shift from maybe a more transactional interaction to relationship building. We're not here as an agent for the deal. We're here for your real estate journey. So whether you're buying or selling, our goal is to provide value, transparency, and the best possible outcome. Let's build lasting relationships that benefit everyone involved. So that's a quick overview of the changes. Basically, as a buyer, you want to get your real estate agent engaged earlier, giving you more access to different properties and knowing who's in your corner. Also gives you a chance to negotiate what you're going to pay for those services. This can save you money up front. We'll post some links to some more detailed information in the show notes. Yeehaw! And I want to thank you for tuning in to On Location. Remember, change can be positive when we embrace it with an open mind. Buyers, sellers, and agents, all of us are part of this exciting evolution in real estate. Until next time, happy house hunting, and here's some music by Melody to take us out.